The Ashkenazi chief rabbi of Israel, Rabbi Yisroel Roll, delivered a moving keynote address on the topic Torah Education, the Eternity of Am Yisrael.
כבוד הרב הראשי, הלורד הרב יעקובוביץ' שליטה, with many thanks for his warm and kind introduction and very warm words. I wish I deserve at least a part of the expectations that he have expressed just now. כבוד הרב הראשי, הדוקטור יונתן סאקס, כבוד אב בית הדין, הרב חנוך הכהן ארנטרוי, Mr. Chairman, כבוד רבי ישראל רול, כבוד הרבנים הגדולים, האורחים, who came to participate as lecturers, as an audience from far and from near, שלום שלום לרחוק ולקרוב, מוריי ורבותיי, ladies and gentlemen. Every one of you remembers the very famous symposium on the Canadian radio, which was between the British historian Professor Toynbee and the late Dr. Yaakov Herzog, son of Chief Rabbi Herzog Zetzal, which was mentioned just now, and he served that time as the Israeli ambassador to Canada. On the Canadian radio, there was a debate between those two. Toynbee, to make it very short, used to say that we, the Jewish people, are not entitled to be a nation like the nations. We don't deserve a land, a country, a state of our own, not a parliament, nor a government, neither an army nor a police. We have to be spread out all over the world to put our influence about monotheism, about the Ten Commandments, about Torah, about spirit, and not to be a nation, because we are not entitled to be a nation. You are not a nation. You are a sect, a religious sect, and that's all. Against all the prophecies who speak about the redemption of the Jewish people, against the past of the Jewish history, and against the future of Jewish vision. Dr. Herzog answered. This was a debate of 3 to 4 hours, and you can read it partly in the book Hen Am Levadad Yishkon, the words taken from Bil'am ben Beor in the Torah. Just in an illustrated way, I will put one sentence of this debate in front of you. Are we a nation or not? And if we are, by what? What makes us a nation if we are a nation? Can you imagine an aircraft, Olympic aircraft, landing in Athens airport? An old man comes down on the stairs. One of the workers will climb up the stairs to help him with his luggage. What's your name? He doesn't understand even the question. Finally, we will discover the old man who came for a sightseeing of 24 hours in his own homeland and home city is Socrates. But the worker there doesn't understand the classic Latin language. And of course, Socrates doesn't know the language of today. Okay, they will find a translator. The translator will come and he will answer the questions of Socrates. Where is the temple of Zeus? A temple of Zeus? There is no more Zeus here in Greece. There is a very special church, the Orthodox Greece church ruling over the religion life of the Greece people. The Senate, there is no more Senate. The king, we don't have a king anymore. The power of Greece, ruling all over the world till India. Roxana, the wife of Mokdon. We don't rule any other country. We are a part of NATO, an ally of the Western countries governed by the United States of America. And we are not the most important part of NATO. What is with our art? Well, we are not very special, neither in art nor in sports, even a little bit in basketball. Greece of Papandreou or Karamanlis has almost nothing with Greece of Socrates, Plato, or Aristo, just geography and some memories. The mentality, the culture, the faith, the power, everything quite different. And the Greece people are entitled to carry the name of Greece and the nationality of Greece. They are Yevanim, not only for Hanukkah this coming week, but Yevanim indeed, politically. Can you imagine an Alitalia aircraft comes to Fiumicino, near Rome. An old man comes down. One of the workers will climb up the stairs to help him. What's your name? Doesn't understand the question. He will say only 3 words on the top of the stairs. Vini, vidi, vici. And nobody in Fiumicino will understand what is he saying here. It's a crazy man. Who are you? Julius Caesar. They will find a translator from Latin to Italian language of today, modern language. Where is Jupiter's temple? Jupiter? A temple of Jupiter today? We have the Vatican in the heart of Rome. John Paul II, born in Wadowice in Poland. He never heard such a name, Wadowice, near Krakow. He is our spiritual leader. The Senate of Rome, there is no Senate in Rome. The 2 consuls, the Emperor of Rome, the colonies of Rome, like Gallia, colonies, not even Ethiopia, Angola, we have nothing. Libya, we gave up everything. Our power, we are a part of NATO allies governed by the United States of America and not the most important part of NATO. That's Italy of today. Constitution of Justinianus. The word doesn't take the constitution from Italy. Even the United States, a newborn country 220 years ago, they have their constitution of 1791. Art, sports, Rome, Empire of Rome. Nothing in common. Rome of Fellini is not Rome of Caesar. But an El Al airplane will land in Tel Aviv airport, Lud. An old man will come at the door of the airplane. Someone who never visited this country, who wasn't born here, who didn't serve here in any function, not a general, not a minister, not a teacher, nothing, never touched this ground. And one of the workers will come up to help him with the luggage. And the old man will say, Shalom Aleichem. The worker will answer immediately, Aleichem Shalom. Same language. Who are you? Moshe. And who are you? Moshiko, also Moshe. From Georgia, Tbilisi. I work here. And you speak the holy language? Rak Ivrit. I almost forgot my Russian language, the Gruzinian. I'm here many years, 20 years. He was born in Egypt and passed away in Transjordan. He was born in Tbilisi, and they speak the same language. Even 3,300 years passed between. Do me a favor, Moshe Rabbeinu says. I am here for some hours only on a visit, and I forgot to bring with me my talit and tefillin. Oh, no problem, I will give you mine. You have a talit with the 4 chutim? Sure. There are 2 synagogues here in the airport, in the terminal. Ground floor, 2nd floor. I will bring you there. And he comes in for the prayer of Shacharit. Torah emet natan le'amo el, al yad nevi'o ne'eman beito. In the name of Moshe uvnei Yisrael lecha anu shira besimcha rabah. And they are quoting what he said in the Shirah, Mi chamocha ba'elim Hashem, in the same language, in the terminal. Word by word, not missing one letter. And the same mezuzah, and the same tefillin, in the same place, in the same talit. Nothing is changed. And he wasn't born here, and he didn't born here. And they never met. And nothing is changed. Pesach, whatever. Moshe is a living person in Jewish tradition. He's not something anachronistic of thousands of years ago. Aren't we entitled to be a nation? What is a nation? If we keep our spirit, if we keep our commandments, if we live according to our behavior, the Jewish one, if we keep the Torah shebichtav and Torah shebe'al peh, the written one, the by heart one, given from one generation to the other, what is a nation? And in the same homeland. At least the third part of the Jewish people of today, settling back in the old new homeland. Veshavu banim ligvulam. Jeremiah, the prophet's prophecy of chapter 31, became a reality in our very eyes. Aren't we a nation? The Greeks are, who speaks about America. Zaire is a nation. Angola is a nation. Rwanda is a nation. Am Yisrael is not. What makes us a nation? Here is the answer. If Moshe and Moisesko and Moshiko and Musa and Moise and Moses, all of them, from Vladivostok to San Francisco, from Helsinki to Melbourne, and this coming week, Thursday evening, they will lit the first candle of Hanukkah. Because of 2,000 years ago, a miracle happened with oil. Instead of one night, it served for 8 nights. The same day, all over the world. In families that, unfortunately, the Christmas, lehavdil, elef alfei avdalot, came in and jumped through the window or the front door to the living room. Still, the menorah of Hanukkah is lit. And always in Kafhei Bekislev. They don't know in Santa Barbara or San Diego what is Kislev. They don't live according to Kislev. But Hanukkah they will celebrate together with London Jewry and Bnei Brak Jewry as well in the same date. This is the power of a nation. In the same evening, Leil Chamisha Asar Ben Nisan, Passover night, Leil HaSeder, in Kibbutz Beit Alpha, in Givat Brenner, in Yemen, in Baghdad, in Minsk and in Pinsk, whatever, south and north and west and east, all the tribes, Sfaradim, Ashkenazim, They eat the same menu for 3,308 years. Can you imagine the power of a nation? The same menu, matzot, no bread, no challah, matzot, same menu, over 3,300 years. The power of Torah makes us a united nation. The power of its commandments, observing its commandments. Brit Milah. You remember the story with the chief polkovnik, like a lieutenant colonel, who knocks at the door of a Jewish mohel in Moscow. In those times of Beria, Molotov and Kaganovich and Malenkov, just after the dying of Stalin. And he was told at Moel that if we will catch you circumcising a Jewish child against the law, you will be sent for Siberia for the rest of your life. And he had the knife of Milah, all his instruments, in his bag, together with the talit and tefillin, some crackers, biscuits, near his bed, in a bag. Every night when he went to sleep, he was ready to be called and sentenced for jail, for prison, for the rest of his life. Once upon a night, 2:00 a.m., a strong knocking at his door. A polkovnik was standing there. Amazing. Usually they come soldiers, policemen, but not an officer in this high level. He didn't say a word, but give me another 5 minutes just to change, to take my coat. I'm ready to go with you. He took him, and he was the driver himself, which was a surprise for the Meir. 4 hours. 4 hours they went by car to the north. They came to a very small village in the northern part of Russia. Now he said, I will tell you why I took you away from your home. Don't worry. Noontime you will be back home. I want you to circumcise my boy because I am Jewish. I brought my wife some months ago to this village, not to make it in Moscow. Everyone knows me. I'm afraid to do it in Moscow. Here in the village, nobody knows us. I know that a brit can be done only daytime and not nighttime. I took you 2:00, now it's 6:00. In 1 hour you can make the bris. The Moel, trembling, made the bris. I know that Moel. Then he asked him, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Endangering not only your position, your life. Various time. He said, look, I have nothing with Judaism, but this is the one sign that my father left me to remember who I am, Jewish. I don't want to break the chain. I will not break the chain. I want to leave my child what my father left to me. Let him know that he is a Jew. What he will do with it will be his problem. But I want to fulfill my function, my duty. I am a part of this chain which must be unbroken. What keeps us as a nation? This kind of education of Torah till mesirut nefesh, readiness to self-sacrifice ourselves in order to keep it. There is no alternative for this kind of heritage. Who is ready to self-sacrifice himself for Chilul Shabbat, for going by car on Shabbat? Nobody. Maybe it's convenient. Maybe it's comfort. Maybe I don't have another kind of education to be prevented of it, to avoid it. But to go on Kiddush Hashem, sanctification of God, to do something which is against Torah, you will not find any other substitute to the readiness of Kiddush Hashem for Jewish life. But to go and to live on the way of Kiddush Hashem for Torah, you have to know it. What is Torah? In the Shabbaton of Bnei Akiva, near Norwich, Gloucester on the Sea, some months ago, I said, to bridge the gap between the secular and the religious, the observant sects in Israel or wherever in the Jewish world, all over the globe, it's a very difficult task, because you cannot expect someone who doesn't know you to love you, to appreciate you, to admire you, to follow your footsteps. How many of our children, even in Israel, who are not in the Torah education frame, how many of them know what is inside of the mezuzah? In every school in Israel, there is a mezuzah at the door. I don't speak about, they don't know about conversions, about difficult problems of kashrut or ethics, medical ethics, agunot, very difficult issues. So that we don't sleep nights overnights looking for a kind of a solution of one of these problems. Test tube babies. No. I speak about the very simple things that everyone sees and is touching them. Maybe even kissing the mezuzah every day, in his home, in the bank, in the office, in the city hall, everywhere. And he's not even curious enough to ask himself, just a moment, in this plastic bag, what is inside of it? Why is everybody putting it with a bracha or kissing it? What is it? They don't know. And what do they know about Shabbat? Only the negative way. The Shamor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho, which is television, no. Football, no. Theater, no. Concert, no. Everything. The beach, no. Transportation, no. Smoking a cigarette, no. What is Shabbat? What is the positive thing? Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho. Did they have the experience last 2 generations of a table of Shabbat? Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem. Eishes Chayil. The Kiddush. The Zmirot. The Dvar Torah. Birkat HaMazon. The 3 Seudot, the 4 prayers, Parashat HaShavua, the Haftorah of the week, the whole atmosphere of Shabbat. What do they know of it? Unfortunately, almost nothing. And we expect them what? We expect them to appreciate our feelings or to feel our pain in Bar Ilan Street in Jerusalem. Please. Don't go by car. Exactly in this road, 90% here are Shomrei Shabbat. Don't hurt us. Please. They don't understand because they never felt the holiness, the purity, the beauty of the Shabbat, the holidays, the high holidays even. First thing is education of Torah. This is the fundamental thing. To know, to learn. In our service of Shacharit every day, there is an application to the Almighty which has no brother, no friend in any other field of applications, asking something. When we pray before Kriyat Shema of Shacharit, all of a sudden, a Jew comes, makes a break in his prayer after Baruch Hu and says, Avinu. With such an applicant, Avinu, you understand that something must come now emotionally. Avinu, our Father. If this is not enough, Av Harachaman, Father full of mercy. What is he doing now? Why is he asking in this formula? Not enough. Hamerachem. And after those three prefaces comes the fourth one. Rachem aleinu. Please, have mercy on us. What do you ask? Life? Health? Family? What are you asking from me that you apply to me with all these four titles? Avinu, Avarachaman, Hamerachem, Rachem aleinu. We ask you one thing. Ten belibenu bina. Give wisdom in our hearts, emotionally. Lehavin, to understand. Lehaskil, to learn, to be educated. Lishmoa, to want to listen, not listening by ear just, by listening by heart. Ten belibenu. Shmiat halev is one of the ways to accomplish Torah, says in Masechet Avot, the 6th chapter. Lilmod ulelamed, then lishmor velasot ulekayem, to keep all these studies. But first of all, give us the wisdom. Put it in our hearts. Wanting to learn, then to teach, then to observe. Be'ahava. Do it with love. Talmud Toratecha be'ahava. There is no other tefillah, another prayer. Wherever, whatever. Parnasah. Nachat from children. All important things. Health. With such an application, Avinu, Avarachaman, Amerachem, Rachem aleinu. The smartest of all, King Solomon, in his dream when he became the king of Israel, he was asked to say one thing that you want from the Almighty. He emphasized only one point in his request. Venatata le'avdecha, please give your servant, your slave, give him what? Lev shomea. Same expression. V'ten belibenu bina lishmoa. Belibenu lishmoa. Listening, hearing is with an ear. No. Lev shomea. And heart which is listening. Ki mi yuchal lishpot et amcha hakaved hazeh. Who can judge your difficult, and excuse me, stiff-necked people? You want me to be the king of Israel, the judge of them. For it, I need a special gift, and only you, Almighty, can give it to me. Lev Shomea. This is the request of every unique Jew, every individual, every morning. V'ten belibenu bina lehavinu lehaskil lishmoa. This day is dedicated for the importance of Talmud Torah. I am very appreciating this phenomena itself. People who came to listen, not to fight, not to argue even, to know, to understand, and a little bit to feel even the importance of Talmud Torah. Because the way is for Jewish education, first of all, to learn. How do we say in the Amida prayer 3 times a day? First of all, Ashiveinu Avinu leToratecha. Bring us back to your Torah. Then, Vekorveinu Malkeinu la'avodatecha. Bring us nearer to worship, to work you, to serve you. This is the way of V'hachazirenu b'tshuva shleima lefanecha. First of all, Torah. Then avodah, observing the mitzvot. This is the way. This is the road. This is the highway. Not skipping anything. No jumping. Entering in the high gate is the way of, first of all, to learn. One of the students of Rabbi Yisroel Roll, the creator of the Mussar movement in the Torah world, came to him, and a graduator of Rabbi Yisroel Roll, asking him a question, taking an advice. I have only half an hour a day saved for learning Torah. What do you suggest me to learn? Torah, Nevi'im, Ktuvim, what book? Mishnah, what Masechet? Talmud, what Masechet? Rishonim, Achronim, Rambam, Shulchan Aruch. Half an hour. Rabbi Yisroel said, Mussar, moral books, ethics. Mesilas Yeshorim, Chovot Alvavot, Sharei Tshuva, Orchos Tzadikim. Today we can add Michtav Meliyahu, and of this kind. Half an hour. He said, maybe Mishnah Brura, Dinim, to know how to behave myself. He didn't speak about the Mishnah Brura. He spoke about Chaye Odom, Shulchan Aruch. He said, Mussar. Maybe a Blat Gemore, Mussar. Maybe Parashat HaShavua, the fundament, Mussar. Okay, the Rebbe said, Mussar will be Mussar. Standing at the door and near the mezuzah, he asked, may I ask why? Why do you insist on Mussar? He said, if you will learn half an hour every day Mussar, you will find that you have much more than half an hour time to learn Torah a day. The Chofetz Chaim once told a story. I have no time, but I must tell you. There were two friends in the same cheder in the small shtetl in the village somewhere in Russia or Vilta. And they were separated in age of 13, 14. One became very rich, a wealthy man, somewhere in Petersburg. The other one, whatever he tried to do, commercially, whatever, he failed. The only thing he succeeded, to build a huge family. 10 children, but he didn't have bread for them. So the only way left for him was, unfortunately, to be a beggar, a schnorrer. He went with an open hand to the shuls on the streets to bring some coins for the grocery to buy. Once upon a day in a main road in the city, a coach stopped, today we would say a Rolls Royce or a Jaguar, and a very wealthy man, according to his appearance, came down out of the car, of the carriage, and he thought this is the chance of the day. He went to him asking for a nedava, for charity. All the servants around, they pushed him away. His schmattes, like a clochard, a dirty one. But the wealthy man, for a second, saw his face. The beggar is going away, but he is listening. His name is screaming out, Yankel! Yankel? One who is Yankel, he looks, but he saw that the rich man is crying. So he understood it is a mistake. He means another one. He goes further. Yankel! Until one of the servants ran after him, caught him. Your name is Yankel? The boss wants to speak to you. Are you Yankel Yakubovich? He said, yeah. Are you from Yankel? I didn't speak about the Lord. Yankel comes together. Are you from the same shtetl? From this and this? Say. Your Rebbe in Chayder was, sure. Don't you remember a friend on the same bench? Isaac? Said, that's me. Wow. 8 years we spent together. We played together, we learned together, we davened together, we ate together. After the first memories, the rich one said to the poor man, I see that life is not smiling to you very much. How can I help you? I want you to stop begging money in the streets. Oh, just for the honor of my kids. In the school they are asked about the profession of their father, and they are ashamed to tell that their father is a beggar. Do me a favor. 500 pounds. In the market, there is a bush. I can sell there matches, candles, tools passed, shoe passed, and I will give it to you back, £1 a month, £1 a month. Chofetz Chaim spoke about the ruble. Every month I will pay back 1 ruble of the 500. But this will take me out of the streets. I will be a soicher, a merchant. 500 pounds, and this will save your situation. Sure. Solve the problem? Yeah. Okay. Take my card. This is my address, home address. 5 o'clock. If you come, I give you the 500, not as a loan, but as a present for the old times, a gift. You can imagine that 4 o'clock already, the poor man will be already at the door, waiting for 5 o'clock. 5, 5:15, 5:30, he doesn't come. The rich man understood something happened to him, or he lost the address. A day later, on the same spot in the city, he comes out of the carriage. The same poor man is running to him now with a story. Please, you remember we were in the same class at the Cheder. I need 500 pounds alone. I will pay it once a month to buy a bush in the market, candles, matches, pupas, tukpas. He looked at him as a crazy one. He said, what? We have met yesterday. I offered you, and you told me the same story. I was waiting for you half an hour. Why didn't you come? Okay, forgive me, I had a terrorist, I had what, this, I had that. May I come today? Sure. But please, don't be late. 5, 5:15, 5:30, the man doesn't come. A day later, the same request. In the afternoon, the same phenomena. He doesn't come. Everyone was laughing when the Chofetz Chaim told the story. Chofetz Chaim said, please don't laugh. We are the schnorrer of this story. We are that beggar. In the morning, we came up, most of us, we davened Shachris today. Oh, sure. Especially on Sunday, we have a lot of time. We daven Shachris. The first request in Tfilat Amidah, after praising the Almighty that He is Mogen Avrom and Mechayeh Meisim and Akel HaKodosh, then we came with application. Ato choinen le'odom das. You are the bank of wisdom. You have the treasure of Chochmah, Bina Vadat, or Deya Bina Ve'askel, Nusach Ashkenaz. Please, choneinu me'itcha. Give us free, bechanina, chinam. Give us me'itcha from yours. Chochmah, Bina Vadat, Deya Bina Ve'askel. Baruch Ato Hashem, choinen adoas. The Almighty says, that's what you ask me? Please, come, I give you free. How much you want. The shelves of books of Torah education are heavy and full with wisdom of generations, of dozens of thousands of books only based on the Rambam. Everything is for you, in your service. Take it. I open you 50 gates of Chochmah. Be Talmidei Chachamim. and we went somewhere. I don't speak about today. You came to this conference very fine. We went, I don't know where to. We came on Mincha in the afternoon with the same request. Choneinu me'itcha chochma bina v'da'at. The Almighty says, I was waiting for you the whole day. Why didn't you come? Did I reject your offer? Did I say no? Comes Meiriv, same thing. Choneinu me'itcha chochma bina v'da'at. Okay, Meiriv is 5 o'clock. You have now till tomorrow morning 14 hours, till the service. 14 hours. The lessons are, the Rabbanim in the shuls of the United Synagogue wait for you. Every shul, every rov, this shir, that shir, morning shir, the afternoon shir, daf hayomi, halakha, Torah, whatever. Please come, knock at the doors. Don't knock. They are open for you. A day later, he comes with the same problem. Give us the 500 pounds. I was ready to give you yesterday. Why didn't you come? Shall we wait for another conference to remind you the story next year? This conference, I want to conclude my words, is a modern way. Chief Rabbi spoke about Judaism facing modernity. Even this day itself is a part of modernity in service of Judaism. Exactly Sunday 4 weeks ago in Le Bourget in Paris, I came for 3 hours to France to speak for a public of Yom HaTorah, Day of Learning Torah in Paris. And they were there in the hangar of the exhibition area in Paris, Le Bourget, 20,000 people who came to listen to the lecture. All of the day with the exhibitions and the workshops, there were over 50,000 people. At once, in the afternoon session, like this one, in public, there were 20,000 people. This is the way how to bring in the hearts and the knowledge to understand the importance of Torah education, Torah knowledge as a fundament for Jewish continuity and Jewish existence and Jewish identification. My father-in-law, late Chief Rabbi of Tel Aviv Jaffa, Hagoen Arav Yitzchak Yedidia Frenkel, Zechet Tzadik Livracha, used to tell me when I was in the beginning of my rabbinic way, Israel, pay attention to 3 lines of the Gemara in Menachot. All the instruments which were in the tabernacle, in the desert after Yetziat Mitzrayim, they were appropriate for those times and for later on Beit Rishon and even Beit Sheni. Nothing was changed. The ark, the Mizbeach HaNechoshet, Mizbach HaDomo, Mizbach HaZohov, the robe of Kohen Gadol, all the 8 begadim, dressings of the Kohen Gadol, 4 of the Kohanim, the usual Kohanim, nothing is changed. The same menorah, the same shulchan, the same kiyah, staff, everything except one instrument which was suitable for the desert, not suitable later on, even not for the first temple. The golden trumpets, the silver trumpets, Bamidbar Yud, Shtei Chatzotzrot Kesef. Because the trumpets are the communication. Communication of desert time cannot be suitable as a communication, as media in the modern time. Today you have to use the trumpet of a radio, of a research day, a conference, even television or video cassettes, books in the language which is necessary to apply to every one of us, not to forget anyone, not to give up one Jewish soul, to apply to everyone from one edge to another, to be a Rav Moreh Hora'ah Yisrael in the way of Hillel HaZaken. הווי מתלמידיו של אהרון, says Hillel, אוהב שלום ורודף שלום, אוהב את הבריות, to love everyone, ומקרבן לתורה. Please pay attention. Not מקרב התורה לבריות, I usually say. מקרבן לתורה. Don't sell the Torah with a compromise or a discount of 25% or 50% of discounts. The Torah is not on sale. He didn't say Hillel. Halocha kedivre beis Hillel. Hillel didn't say mekarevet haTorah labriot, to bring the Torah closer to everyone. The Torah is eternity. The Torah is what it is given in Mount of Sinai 3,308 years ago. Do whatever with love and passion, in friendship, with a smile. Umekarvan, to bring them La Torah in Hey HaYediyah, the known Torah, which is no substitute, no alternative, and no changes, because this is given from the eternity itself. That's why it is eternal. As Maimonides put in one of the 13 principles of Jewish faith, Ani ma'amin be'emunah shleima, I do believe, fully faith. Zot HaTorah, that this Torah, lo tehei muchlefet, will not be changed, will not be with an alternative, no substitute, kol ikar. So, ohev et habriot, be, ohev shalom, rodef shalom, love everyone, and be mekarev la Torah. This is, I think, the main goal of this day. And hopefully, according to the silence here, to acceptance by you of our words, I hope we reached that goal of at least today, Hashivenu Avinu leToratecha. Tomorrow, Korvenu Malkeinu la'avodatecha. All together, V'hachzirenu b'tshuva shleima lefanecha. This is just after the request of Choneinu me'itcha, Chochma, Bina, V'da'at.